Abigail, Facebook is the most fished brand. I think Amazon is getting very close. May I give you the floor?
Yes, absolutely. Quick sound check. Can you hear me in the back? All right. Thank you. Guten Morgen. How'd I do? All right. Okay. As you can probably tell, I'm not from here. I am from Washington, D.C., and I lead external relations for scam prevention at Amazon, which is a tech startup out of Seattle. You might have heard of us. And as you've been hearing the last couple of days, scammers are winning. And it's important for all of us across all these different sectors to work together to address this challenge and stop these criminals. So let's click to the next.
The figures there.
Thank you. And let's test this. Awesome. Thanks so much. Are we good on the virtual side?
Just a second. Sorry. Yeah.
Terrific. So our focus at Amazon on scam prevention is really grounded in our mission, which is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company. It guides everything that we do. And so when scammers attempt to take advantage of our customers by manipulating the trust that they have in us, we take that really seriously. There we go. This is one of our leadership principles at Amazon. Success and scale bring broad responsibility. So Amazon started in a garage, and we've grown since then. Our work today impacts the world. And that not only means something to us, it is our responsibility to lead others and to learn from others to stop big problems that are happening. And that applies to scam prevention here. So as we heard yesterday from George, scams are up. $55.3 billion were lost globally last year. That's 15%, year-on-year growth. 293 million reports were filed. If you cut that down, it's 500 a minute, every minute of every day for a year. And so why are these scams still increasing? Well, scams are complex. They're global. They're using many methods. They can impact anyone, anywhere, all ages. A report that came out last month by the National Cyber Security Alliance cited that actually Gen Z is 3 times more likely to be phished than older generations. And so it's important that all of us kind of are aware of the risk that we all carry. Impersonation scams, which are a very, very prevalent scam, are up as well. And the Better Business Bureau out in North America has found recently that over half of all scams are impersonation scams of one form or another. And we are finding that true for us at Amazon as well. Now, similar to other scams, impersonation scams use many communication methods. They're using lots of monetization techniques, as you see here. What makes impersonation scams so pervasive is that they manipulate the trust that individuals have in entities, whether they're individuals or organizations, against them. When your mom tells you to do something, you listen. When a company like Amazon is sending you a communication, you pay attention to that. You trust these people, these brands, to help you as you go through your days. Scammers also do their homework. So they are figuring out ways that consumers are most susceptible to scams. They're really smart. They're really inventive. We heard a lot about this yesterday. They keep up with the times probably better than most sectors, unfortunately. So let's walk through just the life cycle of a scam like this. This is going to feel very familiar to many of you in this room and online. But scammers will find an identity or an entity or an organization that's trusted. They find a way to communicate using mass communication techniques. to cast a wide net to would-be victims. And then once they are successful in establishing contact, getting information, getting money, they milk that for all it's worth. They are going to exploit these victims as much as they can until the money runs out or until they're shut down. The other thing, before I go to what impersonation scams look like, just to underscore a point here, the impersonated brand is not the only victim and service provider that is impacted by this, right? Sort of between the lines here, you have telecommunications companies and others who are being impacted and their services are being manipulated in order to reach the victim. You have financial institutions, payment providers who are also being manipulated here in the wake of these crimes. And so the impact is quite broad. So what do impersonation scams look like? Well, at Amazon, we are customer obsessed. And so the best way to view this is through the lens of a customer. So let's talk about Alex here as he deals with one of the scams we see most often at Amazon around order confirmations. And he seems like a nice guy, right? He's got a cool bracelet on. He seems to just kind of carrying on his day. And he gets this email that says he's bought a $1,000 smartphone. He hasn't actually bought this cell phone. It looks very unfamiliar to him. And it says, call customer service. You can call us right here. The number's super clear. Nothing cryptic about this. And he says, okay, I'm going to call this number and see what's going on. Picks up the phone. And for a second, he feels a sense of relief because there's somebody actually on the other line. The problem is that this person is actually a scammer. It's not Amazon. And the scammer says, oh, yes, tell me what's going on. And Alex says, well, I just got this email. I don't know what's happening. No worries. I got your back. All you need to do is download this app and I'll solve the problem for you. So Alex says, okay, I'm going to download this app, downloads the app, screen goes blank. He gets a notification on his phone from a bank that says he has just transferred $1,000 to somebody he doesn't know. And he's on the phone. He's like, excuse me, do you know anything about this? And the scammer says, oh, yes, this is all part of resolving the issue. You'll be reimbursed here shortly. And Alex sort of left hoping that's the case, right? So given this experience that Alex just went through, I think it's natural for many of you to wonder, okay, so what's Amazon's role in all of this, right? And, Alex's account on Amazon was actually never compromised. The scammer had nothing to do with Amazon, actually. And they never actually logged on to Amazon's store. Even still, it's important for us to assert our stance in clear terms that Amazon is committed to ensuring that customers are protected by scammers who would impersonate our brand or anyone else's. And so customers are protected when they shop on Amazon. We have over 12,000 professionals, machine learning scientists, software engineers, investigators who are working to protect our customers through education, tools, enforcement actions. We'll go into each of these a little bit more. In the world of scam prevention, knowledge is power. And so we spend a lot of time simplifying some of our tips and tricks for scam prevention to make it really easy for consumers to retain information and make sure that they know how to identify scams. We also keep all that information on our help page and have tools for reporting scams for our customers as well, making it very easy for folks to tell us if they think that they have been, in fact, scammed. And we also amplify these messages on our social media channels to kind of cast a wider net. We're increasingly partnering with other organizations, consumer organizations, to even cast a wider net. So this fall, we've partnered with the National Cybersecurity Alliance, using some pretty familiar faces there to reinforce some best practices around scam prevention, and also amplified our free cyber security awareness training, which is publicly available to individuals and organizations online. For further amplification of some of the best practices out there. We also partnered with the Better Business Bureau, which has 100 affiliates across North America, specifically around impersonation scams, to drill into some of the things that consumers need to be aware of as they go about their lives, to avoid scams and be asking themselves, why am I getting this email? Let me verify that it's authentic. And throughout the customer journey, we are finding opportunities to reinforce some of these best practices. So if you report a scam, you're going to get a follow-up email saying, here's some additional tips, some additional information. And throughout the year, we are sending reminders to millions of customers around the world. And here's just a sample of some of our tips. Most of them will be very familiar to you. We follow similar best practices, like be wary of false urgency. We're hearing that constantly throughout the last couple of days. So when we say ensuring customers really know it's us, what we mean is that we are working to make it easier for customers to identify whether a communication is legitimate from Amazon. And so part of how we do this is by amplifying some of the things that we won't do. We call them bright lines. And you can read some of those there. We remind customers to communicate with us using secure Amazon-owned channels via our website, our app. If applied in Alex's situation, these bright lines would have flagged for him that Amazon will not ask for remote access to your device in order for you to talk to customer service, for example. When consumers receive suspicious emails and communications, you can always check the message center on your Amazon account. All authentic purchases and legitimate communications with Amazon will be housed there. And so that, in Alex's case, would have quickly confirmed for him that this scam was in fact a scam and was not a legitimate communication from Amazon, because that message would not have shown up there. Another way that we are ensuring customers know it's really us is through the adoption of some tech solutions. So for instance, this year we adopted an industry-leading email verification technology across 21 countries globally, making it easier for customers to identify whether a communication is really from us. And so now, when you receive an email from an @amazon.com email address, accompanied by this smiley face, our logo, you can be sure that this is an Amazon email, and we are rolling this out globally. So we have zero tolerance at Amazon for attempts to impersonate our brand. And one of the most effective ways that we protect customers from scammers is through our efforts to hold these bad actors accountable. And so we use a variety of investigative resources to identify and take action against these criminals around the world. Over the last year, we have worked with teams to shut down over 40,000 phishing websites, over 10,000 phone numbers who are impersonating Amazon across the world. We have worked with law enforcement, referring over 350 referrals to law enforcement globally, including criminal referrals, legal cases, business disruption actions. We work to stop scammers as early in the life cycle as possible. So we take action to shut down critical infrastructure of these networks so that we kind of get them at the root cause, as close to the root cause as possible. And we will continue to aggressively pursue these bad actors and work to stop scams before they even happen. So since these scams don't touch Amazon systems, most cases. We rely on self-reporting. And that is how we keep track of these impersonation scams of our customers. And so we have the self-service reporting tool available online and on our app in over 20 countries and over 20 languages. And we use this information that we glean from self-reporting to inform our scam prevention efforts and keep tabs on trends that are percolating. We've also recently partnered with the Better Business Bureau to launch a scam tracker tool of theirs, which is available to anyone globally. So I encourage you to check that out as well. And as reports continue to come in, we will take action, whether it's big or small. So let's go back to Alex. I hope he got his money back. He's smiling there. So how would all of this help someone like Alex, right? To steal money from him, the scammer never touched Amazon, right? Like I said, they didn't need to. Once Alex handed over the reins to his device, the scammer didn't have to do anything else. And to warn Alex, we would tell them that Amazon would not let them download software to connect with customer service. We wouldn't urge them to call a number. We would tell them to go check their message center for a legitimate log of all the communications that we've sent them. And because this happened outside of our store, we'd hope that Alex would report this using our self-reporting tool so that we could investigate his case and ensure that this doesn't happen to others by working closely with law enforcement to take down the perpetrators. And so while we continue to make progress on this journey, certainly a journey to protect customers and consumers from scams, we have a lot more to do. And we can't do it alone. We know we can't do it alone. And so that's why I'm so encouraged by the last 2 days and for George bringing all of us together to figure out how we can address collectively this global cross-industry challenge. And truly look forward to working with many of you to figure out how we can make improvements towards scam prevention for all of the Alexes globally. And so find me on LinkedIn, and I hope to hear from many of you soon. So thanks so much.